morning, morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, morning, good morning. Want the microphone, morning. I just want the microphone, morning, morning. Take the mask off your face and look at me face to face. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning. Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning. This world is getting so cold. I wanna keep running like a soldier. Somebody must have touched my soul, 'cause there ain't no stopping till it's over. I wanna get up out my chair, 'cause everybody's getting so lazy. Don't want nobody touch my hair, 'cause a lot of sisters acting too crazy. And them not tough like this, rough like this, and them not nice like this. Some can't take it when you talk true sense. Rather hear the words that glorify nonsense. Yes, and I got my brains, and I'm pretty like my mama. I don't wanna pick your brains, I just want the microphone. Take the mask off your face and look at me face to face. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning. Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning. I wanna share my love, but it's gotta be with someone who's precious. You're never gonna get my love, accepting that you're real precious. You're never gonna cramp my style, baby, 'cause I get a lot of pleasure. And if you wanna test my style, you better have a whole lot of measure, 'cause I'm a rock back chick, never tag along the never look back chick. Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning, viewers. It's 7 a.m. and welcome to the Tobago Updates morning show, coming to you live here from the Port Mall in Scarborough. As we continue to give God thanks for life, I am Julian Steed. And yes, this morning, as we head on in, this is a beautiful day. We continue to give God thanks indeed, folks. And just as a gentle reminder to you, we got to be grateful for life, especially in these very challenging pandemic times, knowing that a number of the restrictions have been lifted and we are back on the outside where there's now the need for us to take personal responsibility. All right, at this point, viewers, we head on into the news as we prepare to head on into the news in 90 seconds with Denicia.
News in 90 seconds. Additional sailings are being added to the sea bridge for the Easter holidays. The Trinidad and Tobago Transportation Company Limited announced that they have heard the public's cry for more sailings. They responded by adding 2 additional sailings on the sea bridge. These sailings will be on Wednesday, April 20th. Both sailings will depart Port of Spain at 10 a.m. and Scarborough at 2 p.m. Tobago-born fashion designer Trisha Leaker continues to make a name in the fashion industry. Her swimwear line, Kaiso, was recently featured in a Marie Claire magazine article. It was listed as one of the 40 best designs for summer 2022. The feature highlighted the swimwear line for being made with curvy women in mind, along with slim-built women. It added that the black-owned and woman-owned brand was able to develop plunging necklines in swimsuits that flatter every body type, allowing the wearer to be confident to show a little skin without worrying of malfunctions. Former Commissioner of Police Gary Griffith wants to launch his own political party. The party will be called the National Transformation Alliance. Griffith says it will bring a tsunami of change. He believes that the country wants change politically. The NTA seeks to speak to thousands of persons from different aspects of society who say they want political change. Griffith says Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley has lost touch with the citizens and intends on unseating him in the Diego Martin West. That was your news in 90 seconds. Back to you, Julian.
Right, morning viewers, welcome back. This is the Tobago Updates morning show here, and yes, and I hear the news there in 90 seconds with Denicia, and I can't help but thinking between yesterday and today, the PDP launches the Trinidad office. The PDP is going to give us again the launch for the Trinidad arm of the Progressive Democratic Patriots in their bid being led by political leader Watson Duke. And then we're now hearing a former police commissioner, Gary Griffith. Gary Griffith is preparing to also launch a party. You know, it's like, hey, you take a party, you take a party. We'll see where this goes, folks. And it's interesting that this race and this tension is indeed getting very high very quickly under the circumstances, knowing very well that at the moment, the target would be that elections are constitutionally due in 2025, according to my information, and it begs the question, perhaps there's something on the horizon that we are not yet aware of. There might be some calling of a snap election, who knows? But indeed, what you find happening is very early in the game that these various entities are beginning to prepare themselves, really, which speaks to a plan and an intention, and we look forward to see how this unfolds in the coming months and in the coming, in the coming years as we lead up to the next general election here in Trinidad and Tobago. Clearly, it's possible that we're going to see a different landscape here in Trinidad and Tobago. Who knows? We wait to see what takes place next on the lineup. All right, at this point, viewers, we prepare for birthday celebrations. And the very first birthday, well, I need to make sure that I go and I capture every possible area. Yes, folks, this is Presiding Officer Abby Taylor, Presiding Officer of the Tobago House of Assembly. And we want to send birthday shout-outs going to you, my very good friend, the entire Tobago Updates family. I continue to send you love and support. And certainly I must also capture, let me make sure I get this accurately. We also have birthday greetings coming in from your sister, Cindy, as well as your mom, Catherine Smart. So the entire family, they're sending shout-outs to Presiding Officer Abby Taylor, trusting that you have an enjoyable day. Enjoy the celebrations as you head on into Easter. And we move along to, again, one of my good friends out there, Andre Baker. All right. We trust that you'd continue to have a great celebration. Birthday blessings going out to you, Andre Baker, this morning. And I know, if I know Andre any at all, his celebration is not going to be limited just to this time period or to today. Not so, Andre, but the celebrations will continue into Easter. It's the only thing to do quite naturally in terms of keeping up with the happenings here in the Tobago space. And, I think it's an interesting time to have a birthday for anyone at all now in the Tobago space, particularly as we go into the full Easter weekend celebrations. It's that kind of birthday where you indicate nothing is going to keep me back at all under the circumstances. Nothing is going to keep me back. Viewers, just to give you a sense of our rundown here this morning, we are beginning the conversation with representatives from TADCO, and that's the Tobago Agribusiness Development Corporation. And we're going to be speaking to the product launch and exhibition that's upcoming. We'll be chatting with the CEO as well as the Business Development Manager this morning of TADCO, and that's Mr. Salazar and Ms. Salandi. And then we also chat with the Bitter Cassava, a musical theater production. And then you hear that and you pause quite naturally, because in the Tobago space, we know that by the time we speak of that area, we are speaking to TPAC, the Tobago Performing Arts Company. And the artistic director will be chatting with us this morning, Rishon Pierre Kerr. And in our final segment this morning, we chat on the business of Argyle United Farmers Development Group, an Argyle Farmers Market. And we'll be chatting with the president and the secretary, Ramesh Rajman and Alana Joseph, respectively, in our conversation lineup here this morning. We want to thank each and every one of you for continuing to join us, to show that love and support. Those of you joining us via Gael, via M&E TV, those of you joining us via Smash Radio, you tuned in, you connected with us. And for those of you online at TobagoUpdates.com, those of you with us on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram, we want to thank you so much for the continued love and support. This is the Tobago Updates Morning Show, and this is the point where we invite you, or remind you rather, to share the live, share the live, share the live.
Take the mask off your face and look at me face to face. Good morning, good morning, good morning, morning. Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning.
Boy, want you, boy. Why you behaving so? Boy, it's 2 years now, me and run a race, boy. I swear I was going in a curry, boy.
The Tobago House of Assembly, in collaboration with the Goat Owners Association of Tobago, presents A Taste of Buku, which will be held on Easter Tuesday, 19th April 2022, at the Buku Integrated Facility. This event will showcase the Tobago art form of goat racing, crab racing, cultural performances, and an array of local art and cuisine. Admission price, $40 for adults, $20 for the children. It's all happening on Easter Tuesday at Buku Integrated Facility. Come get a taste of Buku. It's the return of the Chief Secretary's Bago T10 Blast from Saturday 9th April to Friday 15th April 2022 at Sid Gray Sporting Complex, Roxborough. 7 days of explosive cricket action like never seen before.
That's one of the biggest hits in the tournament so far.
Come see national players Imran Khan, Mark Dial, Jason Mohammed, Jid Gooley, Terence Hines, Carrie Pierre, Christopher Vincent, Tian Webster, and players from St. Vincent and the Grenadines. You don't want to miss out on the celebrity games on the final day, featuring West Indies stars Joshua De Silva, Akil Hossain, Jaden Seals, and Stacey Ann King. 4 franchises loaded with local, national, and regional stars will clash at 5 p.m. and 7 p.m. daily. Lots of nightly giveaways. Only $20 at the door. Get in the game with the Chief Secretary's Bago T10 Blast 2.0. This ad is powered by the Office of the Chief Secretary.
Thursday, 14 April 2022, Assembly Legislature Historical Tour, the X-Files edition. Assemble at the Old Market Car Park for 7 p.m. COVID protocols will be enforced. Check our social media pages to reserve your space and for updates forever.
The Tobago Agribusiness Development Company is inviting one and all to taste Tobago. Come down to the Gardenside Car Park in Scarborough for Tadco's product launch and exhibition on Thursday, 14th April 2022 from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. It's the day before the holiday. Come see an array of our local agro-processors as we introduce you to the best of Tobago's food products, all in one place. Come see, taste, and explore Tadco's product launch and exhibition, transitioning agribusiness in Tobago. Defining local taste. Don't miss it.
Rest easy at American Stores. Up to 20% off. Outstanding discounts on selected Serta, Sealy, and Therapeutic mattress brands. Check us out today at American Stores, where we make quality living affordable.
Hello, Crime Stoppers?
This is Crime Stoppers. Please share only your crime information.
I want to report a crime, but I need to make sure it will not be traced back to me.
Caller, I assure you, there's no record of this call other than the information you give us and the tip number I assign you for you to call back and check on your reward. This system has worked in 26 countries for more than 40 years.
Help stop crime. Call Crime Stoppers at 800-TIPS today. Calls are safe and 100% anonymous.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, viewers, and welcome back. It's 7:12 a.m. and this is the Tobago Updates morning show coming to you here live from the Port Mall in Scarborough. In this segment, we are chatting about the TADCO product launch and exhibition. And in the conversation this morning, we're speaking with CEO of TADCO, Dionisio Salazar, I hope I got the pronunciation right, as well as Business Development Manager, no stranger to us here in Tobago on TV, Kristen Salandi. Morning, and welcome.
Morning. Good morning.
So as we begin the conversation this morning, we're speaking to the product launch and we're diving straight into it. Give us a sense of what is upcoming specifically for TADCO. When is this product launch going to be happening and exhibition?
The 14th of April, we start at 10 a.m., we end at 4 p.m. The product launch will highlight the innovativeness of the agro processors here on the island of Tobago. It promises to show and highlight the true uniqueness of Tobago and how we can innovate as it relates to our food security. So what you would find is TADCO being a facilitator and showing how we can move the value chain from the primary producer into the added value product segment to possibly global export opportunities.
CEO Salazar, tell us, how does this tie in? For many, of course, many became familiar with TADCO within recent years, speaking to the fact that it initially would have started off as 3 other companies within the Tobago House of Assembly. Then there was the merger to bring us to this point. Tell us about the direction of TADCO, particularly in the context now with the mandate of the new administration.
Okay, so TADCO's mandate is really about food security, not only on the island but in the nation of Trinidad and Tobago. We are also going to be the primary facilitator of the primary producers having a market as well as the agro-processors. So we have already engaged stakeholders in the agricultural sector throughout the island and in the nation that would assist primary producers as well as agro-processors. So the value-added chain, we would be able to realize the benefits of moving primary produce from the farm to fork, basically.
So it speaks to a stronger relation in terms of those within the farming industry and looking further in the context of export.
Absolutely correct.
All right. So for those of you viewers tuned in here right now and you're saying to yourself, TADCO, yes, folks, is the company that you're still calling Nipdec after some years, is the company that you're still calling Tico Soaf after the change. Yes, this is now TADCO in terms of its focus. And I want to ask our business development manager, before we go in even more to the product launch that takes place, tell us about TADCO on a day-to-day basis. What are some of the services and products that are generally offered under the ban of TADCO?
Mr. Ski, that's a very good question, right? What I would like the population to know is that TADCO is a really unique business construct, right? We provide cold storage to the business community, to persons in the home, to fisher folk, right? So we have a ice plant that produces reliable ice for fisher folk as well, also for domestic use. We do dry storage. We do wholesale sale of food. So we sell like chicken, both local and imported, right? We also have a car park that we do car park rentals to the banks and so on. We offer commercial space for rent, right? We do processing. We do production. So we do a plethora of things under that ambit, that umbrella of TADCO, right? We don't just provide one service or one product. We do a whole lot of products that really support local business, agriculture on the island.
Right. Mr. Salazar, tell us, in this space, it's not always easy to get persons who need to benefit directly and to be exposed to this kind of transitioning that you all are proposing in terms of agribusiness in Tobago. Tell us about some of the strategies that would have been utilized by TADCO in order to ensure that, I mean, this is a launch and an exhibition that is successful, but it goes well beyond just the day in terms of how we deliver. Some of the strategies to ensure that you engage the individuals who indeed need to derive maximum benefit from this initiative.
Right. So first of all, we identify our stakeholders. And once we identify our stakeholders, then, and that includes the persons who are producing. Now, we marry in the persons who produce with the expertise to help them develop the competencies and capacity required to get to the maximum output opportunities in terms of if we want to export. More importantly, if we're talking food security, we're also talking about having a stock of food available. Now, TADCO's facilities, as Ms. Salandi would have mentioned earlier, we have the capacity for storage. So if you're thinking food security, you have to have food in stock. So, for example, we live within the hurricane region, so we should have food always available to us, right? Especially in light of a disaster. So with TADCO, what we're doing is we're partnering with entities that will provide financing, entities that will allow for good agricultural practices to the primary producer, entities that will facilitate good manufacturing practices to the agro-processor, entities that will provide training and support, entities that will assist in product innovation. So if you persons have these ideas and they want to bring it to fruition, we have the capacity through our stakeholder agreements and our relationships to assist in getting those ideas off the ground, basically. Doing the research necessary for packaging, doing the research necessary for shelf life, doing the research necessary for consumption, nutritional value, even with respect to exporting capacity. So we have the ability through our relationships, and once you are a partner with us, for you to be able to get to that stage and to develop that capacity.
Tell me something, does that partnership extend beyond the walls of Shore Park? So yes, all this can be garnered and benefit. You can gain the benefits in such a manner coming to this piece. Tell me about strategies also in terms of reaching out to those in communities, the various areas and spaces in Tobago.
Yes, and well, the roadshow hasn't been launched as yet, of course, right. But we are working towards that because we have to get to the communities. We have to make agriculture very attractive to young entrepreneurs, and we have to get persons with the capacity financially to and willing to invest in our entrepreneurs. So TADCO will be the vehicle through which this will be achieved.
You say we have to make agriculture, what is it?
Attractive.
Attractive again, and I can't help. Morning, Secretary Natisha Charles Panton. I'm sure she's there smiling at your indication, keeping it very simple. Tell us something, Ms. Salandi, in terms of looking specifically at what can we expect, particularly from the side of the exhibition here coming out at the launch that will be taking place.
Okay, so TADCO would have invited agro-processors that we work with, also agro-processors that work in the Tobago space to showcase their product offering, right? That is part of our mandate in which we support local business agro-processors. TADCO would also be launching about 7 new products, right? We would be using cassava as a base or alternative flour to show that we can create value-added products such as ice cream. So we'll have cassava-based ice cream. We would have farine. We would have waffle mix made from cassava, plantain, and these other things. We also would be showcasing some specialty cuts of local pork, right? So the entire launch is really TADCO showing how we support local agribusiness through leveraging on relationships with farmers, agro-processors to provide value-added products to the Tobago space with hopes of going beyond the shores of Tobago, because our intent is really to start exporting our own brand label, right? So the launch is just that.
Tell us, some would have asked, specific to over the years, there's been challenges as the major cold storage facility in terms of, because of its capacity. Sometimes the resource, the support comes from Trinidad in terms of keeping it intact, the need for things like a generator and so on, because you hear some suppliers saying it's the major one, and if I start to rely on them, the thing might break down and give me problems. What do you say to those in order to reassure them that things are indeed getting better, or things are being put in place to ensure that we minimize such challenges?
New entity, new management, new board.
But same old money.
No.
Go ahead.
But we are actually internally, we have been restructuring internally, and you will find that those challenges that used to occur will no longer occur. We are strongly trying to support SMEs on the island as it relates to the services that we procure for the operations of the organization. However, you are correct, there are limitations. So we have our house in order basically in how we procure our services. We are addressing issues in terms of routine maintenance and ensuring that there are no breakdowns. And we are working on some initiatives that possibly before the end of the next quarter, you will see some initiatives leaning towards a green organization in terms of ESG, environmental social governance. So we're working towards developing those contexts to promote agriculture as well as the organization, because the organization, being in the space of agriculture, should operate in a green space. And we are seeing globally what the challenges are as it relates to climate change and how climate change impacts. And for the agricultural sector in particular, there are significant considerations in terms of risk. So we, in our strategic alliances, we are taking those into consideration and ensuring that the agricultural sector will be able to survive beyond these sorts of risks that we are going to be facing.
CEO, would you say that based on what would have been the pronounced new mandate of this current administration, that the demand particularly on TADCO becomes even higher? And I speak specifically to the fact that we are experiencing, we've seen the recent challenges in relation to increase in prices with regards to flour, within the going far and beyond, and I'm taking a deep breath with it, as I'm sure everybody is. We are also seeing happening, as early as next week, looking towards, not with much anticipation, but perhaps with much sadness, yes, I'm being very practical here, the further increase in terms of gas prices and so on. How strategic and how important or how critical you now believe the role of TADCO becomes, particularly in the Tobago space, again, transitioning agribusinesses and looking at alternatives and engaging our Tobago public to recognize, hey, these alternatives are as good as. How critical is that now?
Right. So in my earlier statements with respect to making agriculture attractive, we have to realize that we have to learn to survive on our own resources and not necessarily be reliant on the external resources. For example, the importation of food has been a very topical statement over the years. We look at our foreign exchange reserves, we look at our balance of payments, and we realize that that's not sustainable. So we have to. So in the naming of the exhibition on Tuesday, you realize this transition in agribusiness is not just about moving from a space of subsistence, but we want to move to a space of competitiveness globally. And in order to do that, we have to have persons bring forth their initiatives and their ideas and support their development towards that. So on the one hand, TADCO will find itself at times challenged. On the other, we will see entrepreneurs, agro-entrepreneurs, whether it be at the primary level or in terms of the farmers, or at the agro-processor level, the added value, you will see those persons transition from subsistence to globally competitive individuals. Why? Because, as I mentioned earlier, those stakeholders that we have formed alliances with, partnerships with, are going to assist them to get to that level of competitiveness, to provide high quality, consistent product or produce.
Excellent. And what the viewers want to hear most definitely, with all this plan and strategy, can we definitely look forward to the time once again where TADCO brings in the kind of revenue, slowly but surely, to eventually turn things around, and it's not one of those companies that in the long run that just continues to depend exclusively on the state. You have about 30 seconds to capture that.
So most definitely, and you'll see that commencing with the capital of Paradise going out to fish in international waters and generate foreign exchange for us. That boat, as you would have known, would have been launched in March here. It came to Tobago. It had its day. And that is our first initiative to start with, to show the viability of TADCO. And then we go on to other things.
Excellent. Final 10 seconds. Remind us of what's taking place, when it's taking place, and the time, location.
Inside car park, April 14th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Come on out and let us partake in Tobago's local taste. TADCO transitioning agribusiness in Tobago. I would love to see everyone there.
All right, so viewers, we want to thank very much on set with us this morning, Kristen Salandi, Business Development Manager, and Dionisio Salazar, CEO of TADCO, and we want to thank them very much. And we want to remind you, this takes place on Thursday the 14th from 10 a.m., just as Kristen just reminded us there at Gardenside. But for those of you who may not be able to make it out there to Gardenside, you can also connect because it will be live here on the Tobago Updates. So we invite you to ensure that you tune in, whether you visit in person, but I know you might want to pass through in person to make sure you collect and to taste some of these items. I'm told there's going to be cassava doubles and cassava fried beak and smoked fish and so on. I mean, I'm just kind of whetting your appetite there, and I'm thinking to myself, it's time for breakfast. All right, folks. All right, so we want to thank you very much for the continued love and support here for the Tobago Updates morning show, coming to you here live from the Port Mall in Scarborough. I want to remind you, this is your time to share the live, share the live, share the live.
The Tobago Agribusiness Development Company is inviting one and all to taste Tobago. Come down to the Gardenside Car Park in Scarborough for TADCO's product launch and exhibition on Thursday, 14th April 2022 from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. It's the day before the holiday. Come see an array of our local agro-processors as we introduce you to the best of Tobago's food products, all in one place. Come see, taste, and explore TADCO's product launch and exhibition, transitioning agribusiness in Tobago. Defining local taste. Don't miss it.
I faked a migraine to skip my in-laws' anniversary.
I call all my girlfriends babe, so I don't mix up their names.
I always pick fights before my boyfriend's birthday, so I don't have to buy him a gift.
Some secrets are too good to keep, like the KFC Secret Recipe Bucket, with 9 pieces of chicken and 5 regular sides for $129. Only at KFC.
Are you looking for that all-in-one shopping experience? Then look no more. Visit Lamb's Best Mart for your grocery items, fruits and vegetables, drinks, home items, stationery, gift items, hampers, shopping gift cards, toiletries, small hardware items, and much more. We provide order and pickup service, even delivery to your door. We are your friendly community supermarket. Check us out today at Lamb's Best Mart, located at 22 Daniel Trace Canby, or visit us on social media at Lamb's Best Mart.
MI4 Security Services Company is the most advanced security service in Tobago. Ask about our cash and transit service. It's safe, risk-free, reliable, and timely. We provide safe banking delivery for all business types and sizes with highly trained staff, 24/7 monitoring, coordinated emergency response, and a well-maintained fleet of armored vehicles. Contact us at 660-7723 or visit our website at www.mi4securitytt.com to sign up today.
Tobago is Easter, so join us. Call Thorns Place 745-7306 or 682-8676 and book your stay now. Rooms as low as 200 TT. Message us on WhatsApp, Facebook, and Instagram. Just a 5-minute drive from the Scarborough Port. Tobago is Easter, so join us.
Tobago Tobago Glass Supplies has been a leading name for over 37 years in the glass and aluminum market in Tobago. We provide an extensive range of high-quality, innovative aluminum and glass products for commercial and residential use. Competitive prices with superior and professional services by committed employees who are guided by rigid quality standards. Tobago Glass Supplies specializes in the manufacture and installation of glass and aluminum products that are essential to today's homeowners and the business environment. We are engaged in marketing, sales, and installation of a variety of products. These ranges from windows and doors to necessities such as mirrors for homes and vehicles, designed and manufactured in-house or imported.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, viewers. It's 7:32 a.m. and welcome back to the Tobago Updates morning show, coming to you here live from the Port Mall in Scarborough. In this segment, we are chatting with Rayshon Pierre-Kerr, artistic director, and I usually pause because I love her energy and excitement that she comes with naturally, of TPAC, the Tobago Performing Arts Company. And this morning we're chatting about Bitter Cassava musical theatre production. Morning, how are you?
Good morning, Julian. I am okay. Good morning, Tobago.
Yes, and I know her, and that's why I say you have this ability to find the energy. I'm certain you all have been having long days, long nights in preparation.
I know up to last night. We didn't leave Magdalene until after 11.
Yeah, man, I know that's the kind of energy and effort. Morning there, Elvis and Jared out there. I know the full team are in the mix. So today we are chatting specifically about Bitter Cassava. Tell us a little bit, give us a little insight into the significance of this that's going to be taking place.
Right, so Bitter Cassava is a folk theatre production written in 2 acts by Dr. Lester Fibo Wilkinson that deals with folk life and folk memory and folk loss and folk love in a way that is truly, truly creative. We believe we are TPAC, and by extension our line division, we believe that now more than ever, particularly because we're having some sense of normalcy and the entertainment sector is opening back, that Tobago really needs to make a statement. And the intention for Bitter Cassava is really that we trigger that entertainment, creative, cultural sector, more beyond the entertainment, also in a meaningful way.
All right. Tell our viewers, when is this taking place?
So it is at the Magdalena Grand Beach and Golf Resort, specifically the Colibri Ballroom, and it happens from this Friday at 7 p.m. And on Saturday, we have 2 shows, one that is dedicated for students, and we welcome other patrons at 2 p.m. and one at 7 p.m. on Saturday, and then we have one final show Easter Sunday at 6 p.m., all happening in the same venue.
So basically, you should take the opportunity to ensure that you get to view at least one.
Of course, Julian, of course. You have to see at least one.
At least one. But is it, just give me a sense, is it that they will collectively tell a story, or once you see one, you get the feel of...
Yeah, once you see one. So this is really what we call a production run.
Right.
So the play, that single play, runs multiple times for the entire weekend. So once you come on Friday, you come on Sunday, it's the same show that you'll be seeing. Of course, you'll be seeing it with renewed energy. Renewed energy and vibe.
I'm listening to you, and I'm remembering Jared here in the mix, in our holidays, and probably giving the indication. But if you come Friday night, and you want to understand the message, because it might have been a little more than you, come back on Saturday and take a look again.
And
is that your encouragement?
And if you're on Saturday, you ain't get it, come back on Sunday.
All right. If it's nice, do it twice.
Do it twice.
Tell me about the efforts that would have gone in here, particularly with the team, because for us, TPAC, again, relatively new in the Tobago space, bringing a different kind of focus and energy in that direction of the performing arts. Tell us about the work of the team to make this, as you work towards a successful execution.
So we started the Bitter Cassava rehearsal process in January. So we had done our casting, we had dealt with logistics and pre-production, and because those things usually tend to happen 3 months in advance. But what we've been able to do over time, because of our mandate, is really trigger other creatives in the sector. So a lot of the work that have gone into Bitter Cassava in its final week of of production has really been about developing capacity, training, more than dealing with what the play asks for, dealing with all of the other technical areas on stage, technical areas around the stage, just kind of bringing together very holistically and cohesively all the other areas of production that combine to make the show work. I can tell you our entire orchestra for Bitter Cassava, and the music is beautiful, and I want you all to get ready for it. Independent creators in the Tobago space, we have the likes of Carol Warner and Gerard Balfour, our vendors, our lighting designers, Cindy Lou Edwards. We've been fortunate to collaborate with two groups, two community groups on the ground. Very, very recently, our residents came out of a training with Daniel Smith from Tobago Cosmetics, because we're also about building capacity. You give a man a fish, you feed him for a day, you teach him to fish, you feed him for life. And so we're cross-collaborating across the sector because we also recognize the value beyond our own training that has been happening. What it also means to bring other creatives and other players in the Tobago space into the conversation. And so Bitter Cassava is boldly and brilliantly and uniquely Tobago.
So for those who have said, I have seen TPAC and the team coming out of grand events at Shaw Park. This is a different space, and I'm wondering how they got adjust and how they got deliver. Just reassure our viewers for me, reassure our viewers in terms of what can they expect right there at the Magdalena Ballroom.
I will be the first to tell you, TPAC is about finessing the thing, finessing. So we finessed our way into Magdalena, and as you know, Magdalena is a beautiful space. It has graciously opened its arms up to us. What we've had to do, we've had to bring in equipment, because naturally the space is not designed for theater. There is no stage, there is no rig seating. So what we've had to do is bring in equipment, augment those things. We've, like I said, we've brought into the conversation all the people who have that technical know-how and capacities and resources into the space to help make that theatrical experience a resonant and memorable one.
Excellent. So folks, have no fear. Wherever it is, I like the term you use, that TPAC has the ability to finesse its way in. And again, that's something like Elvis there, but all not easy, you know. So as we look forward, just remind our viewers again, where can they get tickets to attend this event at this point? So they're hearing about Bitter Cassava, they have not yet secured their tickets, but they want to make sure that they're a part of it. Give us, where can persons get tickets?
So you can purchase your tickets. There is members of the TPAC team that are there on site from 10 to 5 daily for the rest of this week, and you can purchase your physical tickets there. You could also call any member of the team, and we will help make arrangements for you and ease that ticket purchase process. You could also purchase tickets on the night of the show, but as you know, the original capacity that we would have catered for in Shaw Park, quite a large audience, and Magdalena is a much smaller audience. So you can purchase your tickets on the night of the show, but we would advise against it. Don't chance it, and don't be left behind.
All right, so you want to ensure that you capture those tickets in advance, or rather ensure that you secure those tickets very early. Give us a sense of how has the response been in the Tobago space, specific to this transitioning, as I like to call it, something alternative to do, beyond just what might be the standard of activities, creating that variation in the Tobago space. How has the response been with TPAC?
I mean, Bitter Cassava in particular, or TPAC in general?
TPAC in general, in terms of the broad scope, and Bitter Cassava being one of those being executed.
Definitely. I mean, in a lot of ways, the support has been overwhelming. Of course, TPAC is a new thing, and people still have questions and speculation. And what do you all do on a day-to-day basis? And what can we expect from you? So we've been getting some of those things. But alongside that, we've also been getting a lot of support, people coming out, people wanting to know what is happening, how can we be a part. We've also been getting a lot of how do we apply, how do we become part of this thing. Since our auditions back in November of last year, we're still getting requests for applications. And what we're seeing maturing is really the value of a company of this nature, and because you have the creatives, you have the cultural, you have the ideas, but what we really don't have is a vehicle to constantly move it and to shape it, and to move it in a strategic way. And so because of all of those things, the support for TPAC is still ushering in. TPAC is new, and TPAC will continue to chart the way and pave the way. Of course, we need the support of all Tobagonians. But if ever anybody has any questions with regards to TPAC, you would like an opportunity to collaborate, TPAC is always welcome. always welcome and is always welcoming to all Tobagonians and the national community by extension. With regards to Bitter Cassava, in our first week of early bird ticket sales, what we were seeing is a very, very, very high turnover of tickets. Insofar, the team started having discussions about whether or not we should close the early bird ticket purchase period earlier. So we've been seeing the support, we've been seeing the excitement. We have partnered with schools because we've had a situation in the past where students right in Tobago have had to journey across waters to see plays and to critically appraise and critique plays. But we have a situation now where our students in 5th form and 6th form could be part of that play making and play development and play happening process. So we also have the support of the schools, the visual and performing arts teachers, the curriculum officers, and it really, really, really has been good. As a matter of fact, our front of house team for Bitter Cassava are students of Bishops, the 5th and 6th form, all volunteers. Nice. All volunteers who are getting a first-hand experience into what the thing is. So the support is there, and it continues to grow and it continues to evolve, and we welcome it.
All right, excellent. So as we look to wrap this morning's interview, I'm always so proud of you representing us very well, and we go back even to your graduation time, valedictorian, standing out there in the performing arts field, and that's the kind of team that you have at TPAC.
Definitely.
I'm taking you into full artistic director mode now. You're speaking to our viewers, and you are telling them why this is a must-attend event from Friday.
You may never have an opportunity to witness love and loss and pain and hurt and laughter all within the same 2 hours and 15 minutes. What TPAC will do through Bitter Cassava is really take you on a magical journey that you will never be able to forget. This Friday, 7 p.m. happening at Magdalena. It runs throughout the weekend. If you do not have your tickets, you still have some time. We are encouraging you, come out, don't come alone, bring a friend. You enjoy plays better when you bring somebody. All are welcome. You don't want to be left behind. You should be at Magdalena to see Bitter Cassava. Spread the word.
And I can see the team there, Elvis, CEO, Jared Primer, and the entire team there probably screaming as they watch this interview with Rayshon representing. Folks, this is Rayshon Pierre, Artistic Director of TPAC, and we want to thank her very much for bringing the information. This is a must-attend event. It's the Easter weekend, folks. There's a lot happening. No time for sleeping, as we used to say. Sleep is a concept for this Easter weekend in Tobago. We want to ensure that we enjoy every bit of the activities happening, and we're happy for the very wide variety. Thank you very much again at TPAC for making this contribution here within the Tobago space. Viewers, we want to thank you for the continued love and support for the Tobago Updates morning show. And at this point, we head over to This Day in Tobago History with Devon Adana.
This Day in Tobago History. Did you know that on April 12, 1793, the British launched from Barbados to recapture Tobago from the French? According to the Complete History of the Island of Tobago by C.R. Otley, 229 years ago today, Major General Collier set sail from Barbados with a force comprising 3 majors, 2 captains, 11 lieutenants, 4 ensigns, 21 sergeants, 16 drummers, and 394 rank and file. Major Collier became Commander-in-Chief of His Majesty's forces in the West Indies in November 1792. Thus, when the French declared war on England on the 1st of February 1793, Collier was at the ready. His readiness to recapture Tobago rests on secret correspondence sent long before France's declaration of war from the Tobago planters via an agent. The correspondence indicated that the Tobago planters' determination to lend assistance to the English should they make an attempt to recapture Tobago. The planters were, to put it plainly, fed up of the French as their occupation of the island from 1781 to 1793 proved to be a time of stagnation in Tobago. Collier and his troops arrived at Corlan Bay in Tobago on April 14th. The people of Tobago were so jubilant, they joined the soldiers in their march to Mount Grace, where they were entertained by the owners of the Mount Grace estate. A summons was sent to the French calling on them to surrender, but offering them every advantage once they did so. The French commandant, a Lieutenant Colonel Monteil, British, for his kindness, but all refused. Voted in General Collier making a move on the French at 1 a.m. on April 15th. Collier instructed his men to depend on the bayonet and not to fire. The conflict was over within an hour with minimal losses on both sides. The English losing 3 soldiers and having 24 wounded. The French had 6 killed and 6 wounded. This is how Tobago once again became a unit of the British Empire. On the 18th of April 1793, Tobago expressed her gratitude in writing, signing as the British inhabitants of Tobago. You've been watching This Day in Tobago History. My name is Devon Adana. There's so much more to enjoy after the break, so be sure to share the live and join us.
Thursday, 14th April 2022, Assembly Legislature Historical Tour, the X-Files edition. Assemble at the Old Market Car Park for 7 p.m. COVID protocols will be enforced. Check our social media pages to reserve your space and for updates forever.
I faked a migraine to skip my in-laws' anniversary.
I call all my girlfriends babe, so I don't mix up their names.
I always pick fights before my boyfriend's birthday, so I don't have to buy him a gift.
Some secrets are too good to keep, like the KFC secret recipe bucket with 9 pieces of chicken and 5 regular sides for $129. Only at KFC.
Are you looking for that all-in-one shopping experience? Then look no more. Visit Lamb's Best Mart for your grocery items, fruits and vegetables, drinks, home items, stationery, gift items, hampers, shopping gift cards, toiletries, small hardware items, and much more. We provide order and pickup service, even delivery to your door. We are your friendly community supermarket. Check us out today at Lamb's Best Mart, located at 22 Daniel Trace Canby, or visit us on social media at Lamb's Best Mart.
Boy, want you, boy? Why you behaving so? Boy, it's 2 years now, me and run a race, boy. I swear I was going in a curry, boy.
The Tobago House of Assembly, in collaboration with the Goat Owners Association of Tobago, presents A Taste of Buku, which will be held on Easter Tuesday, 19th April 2022 at the Buku Integrated Facility. This event will showcase the Tobago art form of goat racing, crab racing, cultural performances, and an array of local art and cuisine. Admission price, $40 for adults, $20 for the children. It's all happening on Easter Tuesday at Buku Integrated Facility. Come get a taste of Buku. It's the return of the Chief Secretary's Bago T10 Blast from Saturday 9th April to Friday 15th April 2022 at Sid Gray Sporting Complex, Roxborough. 7 days of explosive cricket action like never seen before.
That's one of the biggest hits in the tournament so far.
Come see national players Imran Khan, Mark Dial, Jason Mohammed, Jid Gooley, Terence Hines, Carrie Pierre, Christopher Vincent, Tian Webster, and players from St. Vincent and the Grenadines. You don't want to miss out on the celebrity games on the final day, featuring West Indies stars Joshua De Silva, Akil Hossain, Jaden Seals, and Stacey-Ann King. 4 franchises loaded with local, national, and regional stars will clash at 5 p.m. and 7 p.m. daily. Lots of nightly giveaways. Only $20 at the door. Get in the game with the Chief Secretary's Bago T10 Blast 2.0. This ad is powered by the Office of the Chief Secretary.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning.
Good morning, viewers. It's
morning.
7:50 a.m. and there is never a dull moment here in studio and on set with the Tobago Updates morning show. I want to thank each and every one of you continuing to join us here live. In this segment, we are talking about the Argyle Farmers Market being hosted by the Argyle United Farmers Development Group. And we wish to welcome on set with us this morning Ramesh Rajman and Samuel Eastman, President and member of the Argyle United Farmers Development Group. Morning, gentlemen.
Morning to you, sir.
Morning to the island of Tobago. You hear the kind of start that you're getting here. Oh, hi. Only on the Tobago Updates morning show. So as we welcome you here this morning, we're chatting about the Argyle United Farmers Development Group. So let's start from there. Just for our viewers to get the benefit of understanding, when was this group formed? What is this group about? What's the focal point? Mr. President.
Well, let me say good morning to the people of Tobago. And I want to take the opportunity, being this weekend is Easter weekend, to, wish all of us, a safe Easter weekend, and for the visitors on the island, a safe trip to Tobago and back to their home. Right, so let me just take you through the paces with respect to the Argyle United Farmers Development Group. We was formed in 2021, the 23rd of February. It was a challenging time. And it was a time where it was in the heart of the pandemic. I recall many instances where a person had us to be out the road and saying, police, police. And we had us to run because we were keeping meeting underneath a mango tree. Right? And it was really challenging, and to see where we came from to where we are now. And we intend to go further than that. So the membership, we started roughly with approximately 8 people, farmers. And the membership have grown to financial members, 37. Non-financial members, it could be about 10, thereabout. So we have seen a lot of good stride going forward. So the real reason for forming this group was because of persons who were farming before, who would have been on state land for a number of years. Some people would have farmed for approximately 20 years on the land, state land, and no tenure towards these people. And when I went there, because I was a police officer, retired in 2020, but I occupied a space, like everybody else, occupying a space as state land. And I was thinking about, when I leave policing, what could I do? So I decided to go into agriculture. And then I happened to talk to some of the people who were there for a long period of time. And I said, what can I do meaningful for the community? And I realized that the community need representation. One person apparently cannot talk for everybody. So we've then decided to form this group. And coming out of the group, we look at initiative, how we could drive the economy of food sustainability on the island. So we then would have formed, a company, which is the Argyle United Development, company. Right? So we have a board of directors, right? We, also want to have a credit union for the farmers to make it more easy, accessible for funding. So all of these are some of the initiatives in going forward, right? The only thing that we have presently that is going against us is that we don't have proper tenure. And I'm asking the Secretary for Agriculture if she could, look into our matter, because we know food sustainability is a paramount importance for any country, right? Because if you look at globally what is happening in Ukraine and Russia, those are two main producers of things dealing primarily with agriculture. And if for reason the boat shut down from coming to Tobago and the plane does not fly, what are we going to do? So we have to make ourselves really food sustainable. The pandemic has shown us that, listen, we need to get serious with agriculture, real serious with agriculture.
So I want you to just clarify for us, and you made a very major point there in terms of how do you believe specifically that the Secretary and the current administration can provide support. Now, some may say the challenge has been in times gone by that you give that responsibility and you grant the necessary approvals to farmers in terms of the use of the space, and it starts off all well and good. And by the time enough time has passed, then you see it becomes a space in terms of a dwelling and a private property, and move away slowly but surely from the agriculture itself. How do you ensure that level of commitment and dedication and responsibility in terms of, if granted that kind of support, in terms of giving the necessary tenure with the lands which you're requesting?
Right. So
what can be put in place?
Right. So a suggestion to the Assembly, the powers that be, the Secretary, is that you don't just give state land to anybody who apply for state land. You look at organization within the community, because they would be the bowels of the community. So you will then now have some knowledge based on these organizations who are people interested in farming. Because the real farmer will find themselves in the organization, right? So there may be some, rogue farmers who don't want to be there, but they are good farmers, right? But majority of the farmers, really want to produce. So when you look at, give the groups a certain form of autonomy to oversight the agricultural sector in the community. Give them that power so that mandate them that, listen, we need X, Y, and Z. Because if you look at over the years, agriculture in the communities of Tobago, it had peas in certain community, dasheen, certain community was known for that, cassava, potato. So generally speaking, we know that Tobago can produce.
Right? Mr. Eastman, just to get your perspective. When I hear Samuel Eastman, I think of you in another industry. But apparently you are also into agriculture. Tell us specifically about the Argyle Farmers Market coming up and what can persons look forward to.
Good morning, Tobago. Good morning, the world. Thanks for the update.
Yes, updates, Tobago updates.
Updates, right? Thanks.
But if you want to be upbeat on Tobago updates, we'll take
no
that
problem,
as well.
No problem to drag your bow. One of the things that happening is that I have to give Mr. Rajman credit in order, because it's hard for some people to really come together. It's a problem that we have in. And if he have the vision in order to go forward and to take this to our next level, we're supposed to give him the respect. Right? Because sometimes we only wait until when people die to really give them that respect. And then to bring people together, it's a hard thing. So me, as he was a police officer, I also involved with the scouts. And to take that to the next level, to show what scouting is outdoor, so that we can also produce, because even some of the guys who do the badges, they work for the agriculture badge and wherever it is. So with that respect, that in order to see where Tobago going, because when you check and see the farmers and them in Tobago, 90% of the farmers and them is over the age of 60. So when that generation go on, you know what happened? Collapse. So what we have to do now is to bring these young people who are interested, because when we used to go to school, agriculture start from in school, from home to school, right, at a early age. Now we wait until when we're 90, close to death, to say we're going to work garden. And when you watch the two cowboys out in foreign, in the Ukraine, and them trying to kill one another, and don't understand you have to have food to survive. So we here in Tobago have to really say, well, okay, here what's going on. We have to put our house in order. We have to put our house in order right now, and the powers that be are able to really push us to the level that, because remember, the farmers want brush cutters, they want this, they want that, and no longer in the days the way people used to just get a sagai and take whole day to cut.
Correct.
Right? So, and then you have to have a 4P digging hole to go up on some mountain to dig down. So we have tractors, we have things now in order to speed up.
Well, when you're talking Argyle Farmers Market, people want to know what kind of produce can I look forward to and competitive prices. You all take me through that very quickly.
Well, okay. So the initiative was really born from, showing the community that, listen, we can produce. So we have planting from the farmers. We have dasheen. We have sweet potato. We have all the things that you could think about in a variety. Whether it's fruits, provision, vegetables. We also have fish, fresh fish on sale. We have food, right? That is breakfast in the morning and lunch. And we having the lunch will be jira chicken and jira pork, right? So we are inviting Tobago, to come, have a good day with us in Argyle. So it's close to the sea, right in the Argyle area. It's on the main road. We're putting a tent there, right? And the booths would be there with all the farmers, right? Selling their different products.
So give persons a good sense, where exactly is this going to be, the time that it's happening from and the day that it will be taking place? Because by now, you have people ready for lunch already.
Okay. Right, so it is Thursday the 14th. At 7 a.m. we propose to have the start there at that time. We want to have a prayer in the morning to start the baller rolling, as we will say. And it goes until the night, because we'll have a generator there so that we will have a lighting system.
So people all day.
All day. And we want to get all the products out, hopefully. Right?
Right. So, and what area exactly in Argyle?
Right. So it is at the Lamy Road junction.
Right.
Right. So you can't miss it. From the time you reach, you cross over the bridge into Argyle, from Kendall into Argyle, you will, see the tent and the people. The activities will be there. We hope to have a little, system, music system, but, at a moderate pace. We don't want carnival, in Easter, so.
Well, there's so many things happening. How are you going to stop that kind of energy, Mr. Eastman? When you bring together music, you bring together food, people having a time to say, well, finally I could come out and get my gardening items and so on. Finally I could come out and get my produce, and I could get a meal in the mix as well. Just remind our viewers again, in terms of, can we definitely look forward to competitive prices? Some people say, I just go to my market on Saturday morning because I get the best prices there. What can you reassure persons of coming on Thursday morning, 7 o'clock, heading to Argyle?
Okay, so what we told farmers is that we are selling under the retail price. So then that if the price is $10, we'll try to go $9 or $2 under the price, right? So you will not, I guarantee Tobago, you will not pay the same retail price that you will be paying in the market or anywhere else in Tobago. I assure the people of Tobago that.
So, Mr. Eastman, we're getting the confirmation there.
The whole problem is that my daughter also, she did like split pea flour and rice flour, right, and those things. So they hydrate, we call the seasoning, the Tobago, local Tobago seasoning, and turn them into powder with no chemicals in it and those things. So that we have a mixture of things. Even though it's 5 people, support it, because I like to start with one. Right. Okay, we like to start with one and let it go from there, from strength to strength. Sometimes we look at a big crowd and all kind of thing, and that it not making no impact on nobody. So let us support one another. Let it go from strength to strength. We mightn't have 1 million pounds of planting, but whatever we have, they appreciate it to see that we're starting from E and we're going up to Z.
Excellent. So thank you very much there again to President Ramesh Rajman, as well as Trustee Samuel Eastman of the Argyle United Farmers Development Group. And yes, viewers, you've heard it here. It takes place on Thursday in Argyle from 7 a.m. You have gotten an assurance from the President himself. The prices will be the best that you can find in Tobago on that day. So you want to make sure and maximize on that. So we're heading to the east. We're heading to Argyle on Thursday from 7 a.m. And don't worry, you don't have to move. You start there with breakfast. They have things for you for lunch. They're taking you through the entire day. So you could enjoy yourself, buy your produce, rest it in the car, come back and relax, enjoy yourself with the team there as they really continue to promote the importance here in terms of growing. What we are responsible for here in Tobago and making that difference in going forward. So thank you very much again, and we look forward to the Argyle Farmers Market taking place this Thursday from 7 a.m. up there in Argyle. Thank you very much, gentlemen. And viewers, we want to remind you, just before we wrap this morning, there has been an adjustment that takes place today, where it is Tuesday the 12th of April, the Chief Secretary's T10 games. We will have a shift. There has been an adjustment in the time where the games will now take place at 12 and 2 p.m. accordingly. So that's 12 midday and 2 p.m. The time has been shifted today to ensure that later this evening from 6 p.m. that all roads lead to the Dwight York Stadium for the qualifiers. And I'm putting out a challenge there to Tobago. This is our official return to play. We started, and as I indicated over the weekend, we saw an excellent return in support of the cricket happening up there at Sid Gray. And now we have an opportunity, football, to go out and support in full. And this takes place this evening, and we look forward to the support of Tobago. I want to challenge Tobago, I'm sure, within the COVID protocols, that we can bring out enough numbers to really fill both the covered and uncovered stands. I know you might be a little fearful, I know you might be a little worried, but as I indicated, within the COVID protocols, ensure that you mask up and so on accordingly. And I know that there will be efforts by the organizing team to maintain in every possible aspect. But let's come and support TNT, and in particular is our very own leading, our very own Tobago girl leading the team. And so we want to remind you, this is our time to come out and support. It's a full lineup for the Easter season taking place, and we also have coming up in the next segment. If you thought you heard about plenty between Tadco, between TPAC, and now between the Argyle Farmers Market, no, it's not done yet. We've got Good Morning Tobago, and these are going to be chatting with you about even more initiatives happening within the Easter weekend coming up here. And we look forward to Good Morning Tobago coming up next with Denicia and Candice. So viewers, we want to thank you so much for the love and support. And just when you think it's over, it isn't at all. Tomorrow morning we at it again here from 7 a.m. It's Youth Wednesday on the Tobago Updates morning show, featuring the combination of our youth hosts Dwayne, Aliyah, and Janae, and of course our very young producer in the mix, Judan. So we want to thank each and every one of you for the continued love and support. Rhea Richardson, George, we are here with you. We are here with you. We continue to show you that love and support to the entire family at this challenging time. But we are here with you, and I know that you are viewing Rhea. Love, all the love going out there to you and the entire family, especially at this challenging time. And as Rhea would say, remember folks, it is still important to wear your mask. Ensure that you wash those hands. Yes, soap and water is your first choice. Then you resort to hand sanitizer. And yes, ensure that you socially distance. All right, folks, you all take care. All of you joining us on the live TV, radio, online. Thank you so much for the continued love and support. This has been the Tobago Updates morning show. Bye-bye.
Take the mask off your face and look at me face to face. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, good morning. This world is getting so cold. I wanna keep running like a soldier. Somebody must have
Security
touched my
Services
soul.
Company is the most advanced security service in Tobago. Ask about our cash and transit service. It's safe, risk-free, reliable, and timely. We provide safe banking delivery for all business types and sizes with highly trained staff, 24/7 monitoring, coordinated emergency response, and a well-maintained fleet of armored vehicles. Contact us at 660-7723 or visit our website at www.mi4securitytt.com to sign up today.
Thursday, 14 April 2022. Assembly Legislature Historical Tour. The X-Files Edition. Assemble at the Old Market Car Park for 7 p.m. COVID protocols will be enforced. Check our social media pages to reserve your space and for updates forever.
I faked a migraine to skip my in-laws' anniversary.
I call all my girlfriends babe, so I don't mix up their names.
I always pick fights before my boyfriend's birthday, so I don't have to buy him a gift.
Some secrets are too good to keep, like the KFC secret recipe bucket with 9 pieces of chicken and 5 regular sides for $129. Only at KFC.
Boy, want you, boy. boy. Why you behaving so? Boy, it's 2 years now, me and run a race, boy. I swear I was going in a curry, boy. Man.
The Tobago House of Assembly, in collaboration with the Goat Owners Association of Tobago, presents A Taste of Buku, which will be held on Easter Tuesday, 19th April 2022 at the Buku Integrated Facility. This event will showcase the Tobago art form of goat racing, crab racing, cultural performances, and an array of local art and cuisine. Admission price, $40 for adults, $20 for the children. It's all happening on Easter Tuesday at Buku Integrated Facility. Come get a taste of Buku. It's the return of the Chief Secretary's Bago T10 Blast from Saturday 9th April to Friday 15th April 2022 at Sid Gray Sporting Complex, Roxborough. 7 days of explosive cricket action like never seen before.
That's one of the biggest hits in the tournament so far.
Come see national players Imran Khan, Mark Dial, Jason Mohammed, Jid Gooley, Terence Hines, Carrie Pierre, Christopher Vincent, Tian Webster, and players from St. Vincent and the Grenadines. You don't want to miss out on the celebrity games on the final day, featuring West Indies stars Joshua De Silva, Akil Hossain, Jaden Seals, and Stacey Ann King. 4 franchises loaded with local, national, and regional stars will clash at 5 p.m. and 7 p.m. daily. Lots of nightly giveaways. Only $20 at the door. Get in the game with the Chief Secretary's Bago T10 Blast 2.0. This ad is powered by the Office of the Chief Secretary.
Yeah. Hey. Tobago updates. Na 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 na. Good morning, Tobago. Na 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 na. Wake up with Candace and Denasia. Let's go. It's a brand new morning. Rise up to a brand new dawning.
Additional sailings added for the Easter holidays. Gary Griffith forms new political party. Transportation workers join forces to resist fuel price increases. And in sport, TNT Women's FIFA World Cup qualifier to kick off at the Dwight York Stadium.
Thanks a favor to wake up and hear me neighbor. 60,000 people strong, and the vibes is never wrong. We are beauty, we are power. We are people in the sun. We are beaches, we are rivers. We are melanated ones. We special and there is no denying. Tobago is number one. I am you and you are me. Together we stronger.
Welcome to Good Morning Tobago. I am Candace Jackson.
And I am Denasia Dempster. It is Tuesday, 12th April 2022. Let's dive into our top story.
Additional sailings are being added onto the Sea Bridge for the Easter holidays. The Trinidad and Tobago Transportation Company Limited announced that they have heard the public's cry for more sailings. They responded by adding 2 additional sailings on the Sea Bridge. These sailings will be on board the TNT Spirit. One is scheduled to depart Port of Spain on Saturday, April 16th at 10 a.m. and depart Scarborough at 2 p.m. on the same day. The additional sailing is scheduled for Wednesday, 20th April, where it will again depart Port of Spain at 10 a.m. and Scarborough at 2 p.m. Passengers are being reminded that they must check in 2 hours before each sailing to ensure vessels are able to maintain schedules.
Meanwhile, relief is coming to one community. Residents of Gugu Patch in Providence Road have given their stamp of approval for the designs of a new bridge in their community. Officers from the Division of Infrastructure, Quest and Urban Renewal met with Gugu Patch residents on Sunday, where they were presented with the plan to give questions on air concerns, which will replace the dilapidated culvert, which was not repaired in significant rainfall. Now that residents have approved of the plans, work commenced yesterday.
beginning of the current culvert. All works are being undertaken by the division. The construction of a new bridge in Google Patch.
In some fashion news, Tobago-born designer Trisha Leacock continues to make her name in the fashion industry. Her swimwear line, Kaiso, was recently featured in Marie Claire magazine article. Kaiso was listed as one of the 40 best swimwear designs for summer 2022. The feature highlighted the swimwear line for being made with curvy women in mind, along with slim-built women. It added that the Black-owned and woman-owned brand was able to develop plunging necklines in swimsuits that flatter every body type, while allowing the wearer to be confident to show a little skin without worrying of malfunctions. Over a week ago, Leacock was also featured in Essence magazine for her Kaiso swimwear collection.
Increases to fuel prices will be met with resistance from the newly formed National Transportation Association. The NTA is made up of taxi and maxi-taxi drivers, truckers and other transportation services. With the help of the Progressive Empowerment Party, forces are being joined to signal to the government that fuel prices increases are unwanted. Here is more in this report.
News of fuel price increases is unacceptable according to transport providers. With the guidance of political leader of the Progressive Empowerment Party, Philip Edward Alexander, the National Transportation Association was formed to resist the government's latest policy. They are calling on the government to
a deferral in the decision to raise the price of fuel until there is consultation with transportation professionals. A discussion on assigning tax-free status to registered truckers, taxi and maxi-taxi owners and other transport professionals.
Secretary of the Trinidad and Tobago Taxi Drivers Network, David Mack, says taxi drivers have been hit hard by 2 years of the pandemic and are still struggling to recover.
We are now reorganizing ourselves to come and drop this big stone on the head at this time. That's looking to wipe out the industry.
While the government says the current fuel subsidy is too high and cannot be maintained, industrial relations consultant Gerald Wims believes fuel subsidies should be viewed as royalties to citizens, as is in the case of other oil-producing regions.
The subsidy was always at a royalty. Now you are taking back that and you are heavily taxing the road users. You are doing putting all kind of draconian rules that are seen as fundraisers.
The path ahead is resistance if the government does not want to consult with the transportation providers.
The trucks and the maxis and the taxis, if they stand down, nothing will move in Trinidad and Tobago. The public will feel it bad, business owners will feel it, nothing will move.
Fuel price increases are scheduled to take effect from April 19th. For Tobago Updates, I am Candace Jackson.
Meanwhile, Chairman of the Tobago Business Chamber, Martin George, is urging the government to halt planned gas price increase to delay its implementation until January 1st, 2023.
The Tobago Business Chamber fully understands and appreciates the need of the government to balance its budgetary allocations, and we also fully understand the need for the government to try to increase its revenue to ensure that its revenue matches its expenditure. We, however, are of the view that the recently announced price increases come at a particularly impropitious time for the nation.
He said this increase in fuel prices does not appear to be the best thought-out option as the country is coming out of a pandemic.
Given the fact that we have now emerged from all the restrictions, businesses are now trying to get themselves back on their feet, and to be hit with this, it's going to not only affect business owners but every single member of the public, because once you have the cost of fuel going up, then everyone is affected by the knock-on effect.
George believes that delaying the price hike to January will give the public more time to adjust and prepare.
Businesses would have some months to, get back in their sales, get back their customers, get themselves back together, rather than being hit with this after we've had the recent increases in the price of bread, the recent increases in the price of flour. So, it's like the citizenry is reeling from aftershock and aftershock and aftershock, and it really does not augur well for the well-being of the nation if it is that we do things in this manner.
He said government must take a more creative and proactive approach to manage the economy rather than just raising taxes and prices. And on to some news of politics. Former Commissioner of Police Gary Griffith wants to launch his own political party. The party will be called the National Transformation Alliance. Griffith says it will bring about a tsunami of change. He believes that the country wants change politically. While Griffith could have joined forces with another political party, he is of the opinion that citizens want an independent vehicle that can transform the country. The NTA seeks to speak to thousands of persons from different aspects of society who say they want political change. According to Griffith, Prime Minister and political leader of the PNM, Dr. Keith Rowley, is shaking in his boots with word of third political party forces rising up in the country. Commenting on his time as Commissioner of Police, Griffith accused Dr. Rowley of being focused on removing him from office, regardless of what the citizens wanted. Now he is instead focused on removing Dr. Rowley from office, starting with removing him from the Diego Martin West seat.
The Ministry of Health is warning of a kinder product recall. In the press release, the ministry says they received information that popular Easter treats were manufactured in a factory where salmonella was detected. Kinder products are manufactured in the United States but exported all over the world. Already, the United Kingdom's Food Standard Agency advised their citizens against consumption. The products being recalled are Kinder Happy, Moments Milk, Chocolate and Crispy Waters Assortment, Kinder Mixed Chocolate Treat Basket, Kinder Surprise, Kinder Mini Eggs, Kinder Hunt Kit, and Kinder Shock Buns.
Sport is up next. We'll be right back after the break.
Tobago is Easter, so join us. Call Thorns Place 745-7306 or 682-8676 and book your stay now. Rooms as low as 200 TT. Message us on WhatsApp, Facebook, and Instagram. Just a 5-minute drive from the Scarborough Port. Tobago is Easter, so join us.
I faked a migraine to skip my in-laws' anniversary.
I call all my girlfriends babe, so I don't mix up their names.
I always pick fights before my boyfriend's birthday, so I don't have to buy him a gift.
Some secrets are too good to keep, like the KFC secret recipe bucket with 9 pieces of chicken and 5 regular sides for $129. Only at KFC.
Yeah. Hey. Tobago updates.
Welcome back to Good Morning Tobago. Turning now to some sports. FC Tobago Phoenix squandered an early 2-goal lead against Sinclair's coaching school and held on to a 4-4 result when round 2 action of the Tiger Tanks men's under-20 invitational continued last Saturday. Here's Marcus Daniel with the details.
Playing at the Montgomery Recreation Ground, back-to-back goals in the 10th and 11th minute from Jabari Alexander and Jariel Arthur provided Tobago Phoenix with the best possible start. But a strong response from coaching school's Quaison Sharp and Victor Gregoire tied things up at the halftime break. On the resumption, coaching school went ahead for the first time, courtesy of a strike from Adriel George. However, Tobago Phoenix's Jeremiah Bristol leveled the playing field once more as he found the back of the net in the 68th minute. Coaching school's Colin Sargent made it 4-3 in the 72nd minute, but Arthur struck again with a sensational free kick in the 84th minute to square things off before the final whistle. This result ensured that Coaching School remained atop the Tobago group on 4 points, having won their opener against Tokeville 5-0 last weekend. FC Tobago Phoenix are currently third, following 2 drawn results thus far. In the other Tobago meeting on Saturday, Youth Stars got their campaign off to a winning start as they beat Bethel United 3-1. A second half surge from Youth Stars saw Moses Bernard, Nicholas Sanchez and Mercil Murray spur on a successful fight mark for the Stars. Wrong-free action for the Tobago teams continued this coming Saturday at the Montgomery Recreation Ground. Marcus Daniel for Tobago Updates Sports.
Despite some traveling challenges, the TNT women's football team is in Tobago and getting prepared for the 2023 FIFA World Cup qualifier. The women are preparing for their third round-robin qualifying match scheduled to take place at the Dwight York Stadium later today. Captain of the women's team, Karim Forbes, says despite the challenges to getting the entire team to Tobago, they will be putting their best foot forward.
Right now it's a bit difficult for myself and the team with our travel arrangements, but definitely I think this is just part of it and us getting the victory tomorrow, and that's what we focus on right now.
The team is coming from a 30-0 victory over Turks and Caicos, putting them at the top of their 5-team round-robin pool. They will face off against Guyana this afternoon.
I just hope I don't get emotional, but right now it's a real delight to be here, and I really hope that we could come out and give a good showing, so we could actually give Tobago people something to look forward to.
Forbes is also hoping that the ladies will receive the support of Tobagonians as they intend to bring their A-game to the match.
Definitely, we need the 12th man. We need everybody to come out and support us. Of course, now we need to support the Tobagonian, but Trinidad and Tobago by extension. And we are going out there and give it our best tomorrow.
The match kicks off at 6 p.m. today, so come out and support.
And here's what's in store for the weather as sports is on the way. A predominantly sunny and hazy day will be interrupted by brisk showers during the late afternoon. Overnight will be dull, warm and hazy with a low chance of the odd shower. There's a moderate amount of Saharan dust in the atmosphere and the public is being asked to take the necessary precautions. Temperatures will get up to a high of 31 degrees Celsius today and a low of 24 degrees Celsius tonight. Seas are moderate with waves up to 1.5 meters in open waters and near calm in sheltered areas.
Let's recap the headlines. Additional sailings added for Easter holiday.
Gary Griffith forms a new political party.
Transportation workers join forces to resist fuel prices increase.
And in sport, TNT Women's FIFA World Cup qualifier set to kick off at the Dwight York Stadium.
That was it for your morning news. Join us again tomorrow for more news.
All right, Denisia, we have an exciting day ahead in the world of sports because while we have the football happening, there's also cricket. So things are, as the Easter holidays are on the way, things are kicking off. Lots of excitement happening on the island of Tobago.
Yes, a lot of things that are happening for the Easter holiday, as you said. But I kind of want to talk about the whole issue of former police commissioner giving the hint to form a new party for the upcoming elections. Yes. And this was announced as coming off of PDP's launch of their opening in Bataria on Sunday.
And he says that, he's not so interested in joining forces with anyone, that he's going ahead. And of course, his first action would be to contest that Diego Martin West seat that is currently held by Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley. Because as he says, it's time to unseat Dr. Rowley.
There has been a lot of riffraff, a lot of back and forth between former police commissioner Gary Griffith and Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley. And a lot of people are anticipating and looking forward to see what the outcome of this entire situation is. As Julian said, everybody is looking to form a new party for the new election because you normally have an option between the PNM or the UNC, and it's either or. It's not really many options in that field. Right. So a lot of people want to be able to form a new party, develop a new party and say, well, hey, I am an advocate for change. I want to promote that. There are a lot of things. And I think now is the time for it to happen, given the fact that there are so many things taking place with the increase of fuel, the increase of eggs, basic necessities, the prices are going up. So now is the right time, individuals may feel like now is the right time to develop a new party and let's address the issues that we are currently facing, because things are getting harder and tougher by the minute. And how are we going to move to a situation where we provide a comfortable setting for Trinbagonians? Like I said yesterday, it's now only about survival. You wake up today and you're trying to figure out, okay, how am I going to get throughout the day? How am I going to survive? Where's my next meal coming from? Because you have so many things to worry about. So it's very interesting to see what the outcome of this situation is going to be.
And you know, that's coming off of the heels of Trinidad witnessing the change that happened in Tobago, because after 20 years, there was able to be a political change, and it wasn't from a traditional source. It was from a very young party, of course, led by Mr. Watson Duke. But the fact that Tobago was able to, you know, decide that, hey, now is this time for the change. I think a lot of Trinidadians were given the hope that they didn't have over the past few elections, because as we saw in recent elections, third-party options barely garnered, like we say, about 100 votes for a constituency. You know, their showings were very poor. There were many attempts, but the showings were very poor. And as we saw in the last general elections, the PDP was the only third party in the entire country that was able to win and keep, not win, but at least keep their deposit out of all the other third-party factions in Trinidad. So again, it's interesting to see how Tobago is leading the way in that respect, and whether or not Trinidadians would really catch on, or is this all for show? We're going to see. It's going to be an exciting few months.
Yes, most definitely. We're going to see. We're going to pay close attention to what the developing story will be out of that. But we have to go to a quick break. When we come back, we'll be chatting with Jason Caesar. He's the event coordinator of His Grace and Mercy, the concert. So stay with us. We'll be right back after the break.
Tobago Glass Supplies has been a leading name for over 37 years in the glass and aluminum market in Tobago. We provide an extensive range of high-quality, innovative aluminum and glass products for commercial and residential use. Competitive prices with superior and professional services by committed employees who are guided by rigid quality standards. Tobago Glass Supplies specializes in the manufacture and installation of glass and aluminum products that are essential to today's homeowners and the business environment. We are engaged in marketing, sales, and installation of a variety of products. These ranges from windows and doors to necessities such as mirrors for homes and vehicles, designed and manufactured in-house or imported.
We party till we drop down there with a lot of pretty girls down there, down in Tobago.
You can now get whatever you need whenever you need it anywhere in Tobago with Tobago. Your meals, medication, groceries, and shopping all delivered directly to you. No more hassle, no more stress. Get the Tobago app today on Google Play or Apple App Store.
That's TAPPOGO, and let us deliver to you.
Check our website at www.tapogo.app or call the experts at 494-TOGO and 484-4746. Tobago. Relax. We will get it to you. Tobago's at your service.
Yeah. Hey. Tobago updates. Na 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 na. Good morning, Tobago. Na 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 na. Wake up with Candace and Denasia. Let's go.
Welcome back to Good Morning Tobago. I am Denasia Dempster. With us is Mr. Jason Caesar, event coordinator of His Grace and Mercy, the concert. Good morning and welcome to Tobago Updates.
Good morning, and it's a pleasure to be here with you on Tobago Updates, and I want to wish everyone a blessed and productive day.
Thank you. So let's get into the gist of things. So tell us, what is this concert about? Could you elaborate on it?
It's a coming together of some promoters in Tobago who are Christian promoters events, Dominion Promotion, Glow Entertainment, Christian Brain Cooler, and Purity. Mr. Von Joseph called me one afternoon. We were just chatting just about under 2 weeks ago and asking, is there anything happening for Easter weekend? And I said, well, no. I contacted the chairman of the Sunfest committee and he said, well, look, we didn't have a chance to plan anything. And he said to me, you know, we can't allow this weekend to be empty. It is our weekend. It is the weekend that we celebrate the resurrection of Jesus Christ. And within about 2 days, we were able to come together and pull a team of 30-something artists in Tobago. And we said, you know, the best place for us to do this is at home, at the amphitheater, at the library. There is where a lot of us as singers, musicians got an opportunity to showcase our talent. And we are going back home this weekend to have a time of praise and worship. And the reason why we're doing this is because the last 2 years were challenging for all of us. We didn't know what was going to happen. A lot of us were afraid. Some people lost their jobs. We lost family and friends. Some people will lose their minds. But at the same time, it was an opportunity for some people to become entrepreneurs. Some people's business grew. Relationships became stronger. And we said, you know, we need to stop and give God thanks and praise for that.
The name, His Grace and Mercy. Tell us about that. Why specifically that name for this concert?
It is only because of His grace and mercy we are here. It's only because of His grace and mercy we were able to go through this last 2 years. And that is not just us, because nobody, not even the government, the Minister, Health, PAHO, WHO, nobody knew what should we do, how we should do it, you know, and it's because of God's grace and mercy. We are here and we are giving God thanks for that.
Some may think this concert is about entertainment, but what exactly do you want spectators or persons who attend this concert to really get from it?
Well, unfortunately, I want to deal with that because in communicating with the artists who are going to be there, we're letting them know this is not about entertainment. We are coming to give God thanks and praise. It's about ministry. We want people to come because there's still people who are going through their particular struggle, and we would want deliverance to take place. We would want God to show up and show off, you know. So we're coming there to really give God all the honor and glory that He deserves. Unfortunately, if you're coming to be entertained and you don't get that, I do apologize up front, but you're in for a time of praise and worship. That's what it is.
You did say this was a conversation that happened 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, 2 weeks
ago.
ago.
So this is a first-time event, yeah?
Yes, this is a first
So
time.
do you all have plans on making it an event that happen consecutively?
Well, the thing is, because there's no Sunfest this weekend, that's why we're having this, and because we are coming out of the pandemic, we decided to come together. But I think, though, it is a launching off of all the activities that would normally happen during the course of the year. So we are getting folks ready for next year, for Glow, for In His Presence, for Purity, for the Christian Brain Cola that normally takes place at Canopy. So it's really getting people psyched and ready for 2023 also.
Where can persons purchase tickets from?
There's no ticket, it's free.
It's free?
Totally free. Totally free.
What time is the concert
From
going to be?
5:30 till Saturday and Sunday, the 16th and 17th of April.
This Saturday?
This Saturday and this Sunday.
And the concert, you said, we going back to you saying it's a first-time event, and it's basically a hyped and psyched. Have you ever had any challenges thus far with the concert itself?
Well, I think one of the challenges that we face, and I know a lot of people are facing that, is finance. But we have people who are making pledge, you know, to this time because they really see the need for us to come out and give God thanks and praise. So we have the Tobago House of Assembly is going to be assisting in some way or the other. Dominion Security, GLOW, the promoters themselves, we have different agencies who will be coming on board to assist, and we're hoping that Tobago Updates will be one of the agencies that will come on after this interview to assist. But we just asking persons as you come that you work with an offering, because it is free, and we want to thank our song engineers and light technicians and stuff who would have given us a ridiculously reduced price because they understand exactly what we're about.
What would you like to see coming out of this concert, in your own opinion?
For me, I want to see Tobago come out. I want to see people get saved. I want to see people get healed. I want to see the place transform, the atmosphere in Tobago transform from people being afraid to people trusting in God, for people to understand that with God all things are possible. And no matter what you're going through, you can always count on Him. And it's not about just knowing God, but having a personal relationship with Him. I would tell you, in 2020, if you checked, everybody was reading the Bible. Everybody was praying. You know what I'm saying? Because we didn't know exactly what it was. And I want you to still remain in that frame of mind, because if it wasn't for that communication, you wouldn't have been here for today. So,
remind persons of the time again and where the event is taking place.
The time is 5:30 at the amphitheater next to the library. Saturday and Sunday we'll have Pastor Baines, Donald Job, Nicky Rimple, Ayana Benjamin, Charles. We have Pepe the Pan Man, we have Cassandra Powder, we have Santal Lindsay. We have a full cast of ministers who are going to be there Saturday and Sunday. We just ask you to come and enjoy a wonderful evening.
There you have it, folks, from Mr. Caesar, event coordinator for His Grace and His Mercy, the concert. And he is here encouraging persons to come out. As he rightfully said, this concert is free. You do not have to pay to attend. So please come out and support, and let's lift up Christ. Let's enjoy His presence and give thanks, because as Mr. Caesar said, we have been going through some tough times, and only His grace and His mercy, with His grace and mercy, is how we can see it through. We'll be right back after the break.
Morning, good morning, put a smile on your
I'm Patricia Nicholson Richards.
Welcome to Tobago Update Sports. I'm your boy Marcus Daniel. Thank you.
Trinidad and
looms
and remains.
When the public is nobody lives here. Oil and gas exploration continues to affect the livelihood.
Spearsides Marine Industry.
Tobago fishermen.
When will the
Sion
Roxborough Hospital be fully functional?
Of the 5 a.m. to 12 p.m. window at the islands, like the Golden
Continue
Waterfall.
to rise in Tobago.
Welcome back to Good Morning Tobago, and I just want to thank Mr. Jason Caesar for telling us about that concert coming up. And it is so nice, Denise, just to see all these things happening in Tobago again. I mean, it's been 2 years since we've been able to see all these events, whether it's concerts, whether it's plays, because we heard about the Cassava play earlier this morning on set with Julian. And there's lots of sports happening, so it's exciting times in Tobago.
Everybody is very I think some people are just like fed up. You know, when you have a dog locked up for too long and you finally let them go, sometimes you may not see them after that. I think everybody at this point is just tired of being restricted, tired of being under lockdown and not being able to really enjoy the atmosphere. It have, you know, some persons like to just go and take a stroll or go and sit at the beach, and you weren't allowed to do these things. So there's a lot of activities that is happening over the Easter, and I know that some persons are very happy about that, because Easter is usually a big thing. Before the pandemic, you would have a lot of things going on around the Easter.
And that's because too we're all social beings, and that was one thing that was hard for a lot of persons during the pandemic, to be that social distance and practice those measures. It was very difficult to not be able to congregate and just enjoy the arts. So it's wonderful to see these things here happening in Tobago again.
Yes, we're kind of slowly getting back to normal. We are still in a pandemic, but we are slowly but surely getting back to the place where we can enjoy the ambience and enjoy the company of persons that we love.
And make some money.
And make some money, especially right now, given the fact that everything is going up. You're looking for the dollar.
Of course. I mean, it's been a while. So anyways, viewers, we want to thank you so much for joining us this morning. It was such a pleasure as usual being here with you.
Stay safe. As I always say, we are in a pandemic, so we need to remember that prevention is better than cure sometimes. So please remember to wear your mask, social distance, wash your hands, stay safe, keep smiling, and we'll see you again tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye.
Wake up with Candace and Denise. Let's go. It's a brand new morning. Rise up to a brand new dawning as the passion start to rise.